Before any of my clients spend a single euro in Spain, I give them my buyer's checklist. And in this video, I will go through all of it with you so you feel well informed, so you can move both fast and safe when you buy your property in Spain. Let's do it. Number one, the buyer pays 10 to 13% extra on top of what they pay for the actual property itself, such as lawyer fees, notary fees, registration costs. So just budget for this when you're looking around so you're not short on your funds at the end. Number two, get a lawyer. You simply just need a lawyer when you buy a property in Spain. This will make the entire buying process so much more easy on your end, especially if you give the lawyer something called the power of attorney, which we will go through on later. Here is the catch, not everyone is great, so do your research online. My suggestion is that you look specifically for lawyers in the area where you're looking to buy. Focus specifically on Google reviews, because from my experience they tend to be most reliable, whereby third-party websites, a lot of the reviews there are actually fake. So just keep that in mind. And the cost of the lawyer, most lawyers charge a 1% fee or a fixed fee between 2,000 to 3,000 euro. And just keep in mind the prices the lawyers tell you, that's without the 21% IVA tax in Spain. Budget for that as well. Number three, you must have a Spanish tax ID number. If you don't already have it, your lawyer can help you with this so it goes pretty smooth. Number four, give your lawyer something called the power of attorney, but limited power of attorney. And why I'm suggesting the limited power of attorney is because most lawyers, they would just ask you, we would need power of attorney. But if you give them the general power of attorney, they could basically do anything in your name. And I don't have any personal experience of lawyers misusing power of attorney, but why take the risk? At the end of the day, you don't know the person. So I would just suggest that you ask for the limited power of attorney that exactly writes out what you need help with, such as applying for the NIE, collecting all the property documents that is needed for the lawyer's due diligence, opening a Spanish bank account in your name, signing the contract on the closing day if you can't be there for some reason, and handling other useful admin that is happening after the closing. Next, understanding the three big payments. In Spain, it's not just one big payment, it's divided into three main steps, and each one is very important to understand what they're all about. So you have found the right property, you have agreed to a price with the seller. Now the seller's agent will ask you for the reservation and deposit payment. And the purpose of this payment is to show that you are a serious buyer and the property will be taken off the market temporarily. This gives you a window of 30 days for your lawyer to do all the necessary due diligence on the property before moving on to the next step, which is the 10% binding deposit. Here you pay 10% of the agreed price and the 6,000 euros you already paid is included, so you just pay the difference to make the 10%. This locks in the deal between the buyer and seller to complete at the agreed price and date. This is the serious commitment. If you back out now, you will lose the 10% that you paid. And if the seller backs out, they will have to pay back the 10% that you paid and pay you 10% on top. So now after this, both the buyer and the seller is really committed to the transaction. Lastly is the remaining 90% of the price plus taxes and fees. Number six, have your lawyer add these two clauses to your reservation contract before you pay the 6,000 euro. The first one is subject to successful legal due diligence. This gives you a lot of legal protection, and if the seller has nothing to hide, this is a no factor. The second one is great, but it's more optional, and that is subject to successful survey. This is only if you have decided that you need a professional inspection of the properties for any structural issues. This can be a good idea for older properties, especially villas that are older than 30 years. Or if you maybe went on a showing, you saw something in the roof, didn't really get a good response from the seller's agent about the issue, didn't feel confident about the property. But just remember, some sellers can push a little bit back if you're considering adding this clause. They might even start considering other buyers. Without these two clauses, the 6,000 euros is often non-refundable, even for super valid reasons. Regardless of how excited my clients are, I always strongly suggest that they at least include the first clause before they pay the 6,000 euros. I just want to make this clear because it's so important. The 30-day time window that you have between the 6,000 euro reservation deposit and the 10% binding deposit, that's the entire window that your lawyer has to make the complete due diligence on the property. Because when it's time for you to make the 10% binding deposit payment, you must be 100% certain that you want to move forward with this property. So after that point, you barely can't move out of the deal without losing that 10%. Number 7, never sign anything without your lawyer's approval. Every document in a real estate transaction in Spain has weight, so keep that in mind. Number 8, open a Spanish bank account. This is something you need in order to complete the purchase and also later on to pay for utilities and also community fees. Number 9, understand the timeline. A standard purchase in Spain takes about 1 to 3 months from the time that you pay the €6,000 reservation deposit to the closing day at the notary office. Number 10, work with the right people, specifically your lawyer and your real estate agent. Do your own research, trust your instincts. That's the checklist, 10 points, every single one matters. If you're in the early stages of buying a property here on Costa del Sol, I would be happy to help out. You can just send me an email. You can find my email in the description below. And thank you so much for watching this video.